What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel here. Today I wanted to go over something that's super important for Jeep JKs and JKUs in the rear brake area. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so normally your brake line or your hard brake line will run through here, down where that clip is, holds onto the clip, comes around here, and then connects right here. Now that's an issue if you're running a lift and that type of stuff, because your sway bar can come, or let me rephrase here, it can be an issue if you have extended brake lines because they will stick out farther. So what happens is your sway bar here, when it comes up during articulation, it can hit that, or even worse, the bolt right here, if you have aftermarket links here, can come up and take this hard brake line and absolutely tear it off, rip it up, really cause some damage. So let me show you what my solution is. So what we did here, guys, is I straightened out the hard brake lines as much as I could here. As you can see, it is a little tough and a little bit stressful to straighten these out. You want to be very careful with this. Again, if you mess it up, I am not liable. But it went pretty easy for me. I just straightened out my hard brake line, and then what I did is there's a little hole back here in the rear area where the shock goes. I ran it through that little hole, came right down to the bottom here, and as you can see, look how much, I mean, these are extended brake lines, but look how much extra line I have here. It makes it so much cleaner, and definitely takes out some of the stress as well, because you don't have to worry about ripping off your hard brake line here, because hard brake lines are not fun to replace. And on the passenger side here, I did have to kind of maneuver my way. So the hole back here wasn't as big as the one on the driver's side, so I ended up having to go through the hole in the frame here. Not a big deal. There's still plenty of slack here, as you can tell, and I did straighten out the hard brake line over here as well. So not a hard install at all. You do have to have extended brake lines, because if you're going to run it through here, it has to be this type of fitting here. It can't be the one that connects to the bracket, because the bracket is fully connected. So unless you want to cut off the bracket, the stock lines will not work for this. So you do have to have extended or aftermarket brake lines, but after that, it's a super easy install. It doesn't cost you any money to reroute this, and it's a much cleaner and safer way to run your rear brake lines. And if you want more info on how to do this, Diesel does have a video on this. Diesel Kretz, I think is his name. I can't pronounce his last name, but I don't have a link to it. But if you search rear brake line Jeep JK, it'll pop up showing you how he routed it as well. So he did the same thing I did. His is a little cleaner than mine. So if you want to see a cleaner option done on this, Diesel did do something really nice with his rear brake lines too, very similar to what I did. So as you can see, guys, I do highly recommend this setup here. It was super easy to do. Took like maybe 20 minutes to get this fully completed and rerouted. So I would highly recommend that you do this for the rear brake lines to protect yourself, save you some time on the trail from a break or anything like that, because those hard brake lines are not fun to replace. So definitely something I would recommend if you're running a Jeep JK or JKU. All right, guys, another thing I forgot to mention is, as you can see from the extended brake line video I did previously, I put in the rough country extended brake lines. Those did not even last a week, so they were strong. It wasn't anything issue with that. However, they're rated for up to 6 inches of lift. That is false. They are not long enough to articulate with 6 inches of lift. So what I had to do is go with the Teraflex option. So they had a 30-inch rear extended brake line, which was plenty long enough for my 4.5 inches of lift. So that was perfect in the rear, and then in the front they had an option for 26 inches, which was also already longer than the ones that I previously had on there. So I think the rough country front ones were 24 inches, and sorry, my dog is going nuts. Go play, Luna. But the rear with 30 inches was a whole like 6 inches longer than the rough country ones. So if you're gonna go with extended brake lines for a 4.5 or higher inch lift, I do not recommend the rough country brake lines. I would go with the Teraflex ones. Not only are they a stronger option, they are way more durable in my opinion. Just from the feel of them, they just feel more durable, they look more durable, they're longer. And just the way they connect is just more quality. So of course you're going to get that difference between rough country and Teraflex, being that there's actually a couple $100 difference. but it's well worth it in my opinion. So I'm very happy with the switch to the Teraflex extended brake lines. Again, 2 wheeling trips and 0 issues, knock on wood. So I'm very happy with that switch, and I would recommend that you go against the rough country extended brake lines. And again, it's nothing to do with the quality of the rough country brake lines, even though the Teraflex ones are higher quality. It was mainly due to the length of them. They are not long enough for a higher articulated vehicle. So I would definitely recommend that you go with the Teraflex option if you're trying to get the most flex and actually use that flex. That's going to do it for today's video. I just wanted to do a quick video on this because this is something I did not address. I know if you've watched previous videos, the metal cloak lift video, I did mention that my rear sway bar was not going to work just because of the way everything was set up. So this is my solution. It has worked out great for 2 wheeling trips now, 0 issues whatsoever. So I am very, very happy with this setup. It has definitely given me some confidence on the trail to articulate more, that type of stuff. Less stress that I'm going to break anything, especially a brake line. So you don't want that issue on the trail. So I would highly recommend, if you have a Jeep JK or JKU, to address this issue and to definitely get in there and do this, because it's such an easy and simple thing to do to protect yourself. And also, guys, if you check out the sweatshirt here with the Windy City Jeep Force, I am an ambassador for their apparel brand. So if you click the link in the bio here, you can actually get 10% off with my code. They have a lot more styles than this, so I would definitely check them out. Shipping was fairly quick, and it was actually very reasonable on price, especially with a discount. So definitely go check those out, guys. Also, like and subscribe for more Jeep and off-road content. If you have any questions, drop them down below.